goldenshooesproject.com. Now tomorrow on the show, we have a special performance from the cast of Motown the Musical, plus tickets for you to win to see it all happen live. That's tomorrow. Mark?
All right, most of us have a pair of shoes and think nothing of it, but one woman is taking her shoes and painting them gold. Why? Well, to try to stop violence. Elizabeth Campbell has more on the Golden Shoes Project.
It started in Puerto Rico in 2012 to create awareness about the violence that was going on there.
Creator of the Golden Shoes Project, Cassandra Santana started the project after the loss of her father to cancer about 5 years ago, around the same time that violence was becoming a major issue in Puerto Rico. The project derived from a mix of emotions.
I went through a really tough period. I didn't know what to do with the pain. And I have this love affair with my island of Puerto Rico. And every time I would go, you would hear about, 3 people being murdered or 5 people being gunned down. And it really alarmed me, and I wanted to do something to sort of like create some change or some awareness about what was going on.
The first ever project in San Juan was experienced by more than 150,000 people. The first installation of the Golden Shoes Project in America was in Chicago, where 435 pairs of shoes were displayed, the number symbolic of the number of lives lost to violence in the city in 2014. Cassandra says there were over 60 pairs of sacred shoes.
So we actually have shoes, we call them sacred shoes, that family members donate from somebody that they love that they've lost to violence, and they paint them themselves. We hope that it's sort of a therapeutic experience for them and a way to honor their loved one.
The most recent U.S. city where the Golden Shoes Project was installed was right here in Jacksonville. It made its way to Unity Plaza this past Thursday thanks to the power of one Stanton College Prep sophomore, Jack Lagoy.
My friend Stefano Steenbacher was murdered in the summer of 2012. And that we first heard about the project through that, and the art was done to commemorate him and the many other murdered victims. And then my aunt participated in Chicago, and she told me about it. So I really wanted to bring it to Jacksonville because it was such a powerful project. I wasn't able to go to his funeral, and I really felt like I owed him something, which I really wanted to do. So I felt this was a great way to make it up to him because I wasn't able to go to his funeral, and I wasn't able to say goodbye. So I feel this is like a great project to do that.
People in Jacksonville came together last week to paint the shoes gold.
Gold symbolizes value because gold is one of the oldest commodities that we have. So the value at the end of the day equals human life to me, the ultimate value. And shoes are what connects us to the earth. And I don't know, I guess shoes are something very personal, right? So to have a pair of shoes of each person, I want the viewer to really understand that this is a real life, not just a number, not just something that we hear in the news. It's, it's a human with experiences and family members that are left behind with grief.
With senseless violence happening here in Jacksonville far too often, Cassandra and Jack hope that these shoes will be instilled in people's minds, even now that the project has moved through.
I'm hoping to maybe continue the project a little bit, maybe start clubs throughout schools so that, because a lot of friends are not able to represent their friends that they lost, so I would love to have clubs in different schools around Jacksonville so that it can be done among high school students.
I'm Elizabeth Campbell for River City Live.
So after the event at Unity Plaza, people are asked to take the shoes and put them all over the city. And if you do see shoes, you're supposed to take a picture and post it on social media with the hashtag Golden Shoes Project. And this will continue to raise the awareness of violence. Now, for more information, you could go to goldenshoesproject.com. We'll be back right after this.